Hello Astrolifers, how are you? I hope you had a nice weekend and a nice end of the week last week. I know there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes, so you would have felt lately that there's a lot of changes and things that you want to change, or maybe you've been a little bit forced to change, or things around your life that are already started to change as well, because that's what it's all about. We are in a time of changes. So we do have, obviously, Jupiter, the planet of luck, of expansion, that is actually retrograde. And it is going to be retrograde until the 11th of August. So that's why I always say to all of you guys, please only start planting the seeds of new projects when we will be the 15th of August, because that's when I'm sure that the planet will be, back into normal. A planet is huge, so it takes few days to actually be rolling over in the right speed. So that's why I don't say the 11th, but I say please wait for the, the 15th at least. Give it few days to be in the right speed. Then after that, we've got Pluto, the planet also of transformations that has been going retrograde. It actually went retrograde just at the end of last week. That's why I'm asking everyone, how are you feeling? Because two important planets like that in retrograde at the same time, it's quite full on. So obviously it is in retrograde with since the 24th to 25th, and it's going to be like that until the 3rd of October. So that is actually calling together conjunct like that in a retrograde, I should say, going through the same kind of backwards, is quite full on. It is the right time to transform anything that has not been suiting you, and it's a deep transformation. It's not just saying, oh, I might be changing the way I'm going to be working, I'm going to be changing this and that. Obviously that will come up. Me, I've decided, for example, that my videos, the weekly videos, I was not going to do them on Monday anymore. It's not possible on Mondays. There's always things happening, there's always clients calling me and everything. So why make my life complicated when Sunday is a perfect day? It's my day off. I'm always, relaxed on that day, unless I've got obviously emergencies with big cases. If they are, if it's a matter of life and death, obviously I still look after my customers, but that's the day. Otherwise I give myself off. So I'm going to do the videos at that time. I'm all relaxed. I've had time, to enjoy my loved ones and to do things that are really, feeding me up. So it's the best time. And then in that case, you guys, you will be ready to organize your week already from the Monday morning. You won't be, waiting, knowing what's going on. You will already have it on the Sunday. You'll be ready to organize your week. So it's a win-win for everyone. So yeah, so you might be thinking of transforming things like that. And what also can bring Pluto in retrograde is fear. Fear sometimes of being controlled, fears of letting go, fears of what's happening around. Obviously, you're going to, I'm sure you already know which one I'm going to tell you to do. It's to let go, because you do not want to be fighting all these planets. It's Jupiter, it's the planet of expansion, it's the planet of transformation. It is in retrograde, it's all about you transforming and changing the way you feel inside, the way you look after yourself. It goes on a very, very deep level. I don't want you to think, oh, it's just what's happening around me. No. It works on the cellular system. It works to that level. You are getting cleaned up. You are being changed. We are transforming. That's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. You need to let go. It's very important that you do let go, because otherwise, you're going to be fighting something that is too strong, that is too big. We have to remember that Jupiter is the biggest planet, and Pluto is definitely a strong one as well. It's a very strong planet that impacts very deeply. It impacts really deeply people. And so that's what I did. I actually did let it go. And something absolutely magical has happened to me. I have crossed, I think in life you suddenly go into paths where everything just makes sense. From your past to your present to your future, and that's what just has happened to me this weekend. I will talk a little bit about it afterwards, but yeah, there is one. I think there are some times in life where it all becomes one, and when it just all blends, and you know exactly what you are doing and why you are doing it, and it's clear with your past, it's clear with what you've been living in your present, and it also shows you the path crystal clear, you know, with your future and the people that you are going to be working with, or how you are going to evolve and become, you know. And this weekend was definitely very important for me, but that can only happen when you let go, you know, when suddenly you say, okay, you know, let it happen. Because sometimes we fight, we actually want control, and we actually do sometimes think that we do control, and we do control to a certain extent of the way we're going to react, or the way we are going to do things, you know. But we do not have a control of all these big energies. They are much bigger than us, so we have to navigate with them. It's very important if you want to, like, your life to become easy and flow, and everything to be so magical, you know, around you. It's so important. So we do have this new moon as well coming up. So obviously you will have the weekly video on Sunday. So that is taking us to the 5th next Sunday. And we've got that new moon that is extremely, extremely important, because it's going to be in Taurus. We are going to be having that new moon in that star sign. But also, as I was saying the other day, we have those 7 years, that 7th cycle that people talk about all the time, you know, that famous 7 years, that does actually exist in astrology, which is going to be in Taurus. So you can imagine, in the middle of all these transformations, letting go and everything, having that new moon in Taurus, that is the beginning of those 7 years with the cycle coming up. You can imagine how big astrologically that is. So that new moon is going to be massive. Next week is massive because of those aspects. So that's really something that is going to be absolutely incredible. I am, of course, doing a workshop. I'm going to do a workshop with those stars with Patricia. And I'm going to give you heaps of goodies. Of course, I'm going to be there. Of course, I'm going to help you for the next 7 years. What's coming up? There's still some tickets available. You can come. Just scroll on my on the platform, on Astrolife. Just scroll, you will see the event, or even on my personal profile, you will see it as well. Come over, you won't regret it. I will give you stuff that is going to make you go forwards and make money. If you are on the Gold Coast or Brisbane or around, you don't want to be missing it, okay? That's something I'm going to give all the people that will make the effort to come. And I think there's even some free tickets. Patricia, she's giving some free tickets. And after that, it's only $10. It's a meetup. So, you know, it doesn't take much of your time, but I promise you it will be worth it. Also, Patricia, what Patricia gives is so important and so interesting in business. I strongly recommend to listen to her. So it's a win-win situation for all of you guys. I strongly suggest that you do show up. And with that new moon, it's the right time to do a lot of things. I know there are some retrogrades, but this is where you can play with the stars. You can be at the right time, at the right place, having whatever you need to actually be able to move forwards and to have the information that you need to be playing with that famous 7 years coming up with the Taurus, and not missing any bits of those 7 years coming up. So come over. I strongly suggest that you do. You really won't regret it. Okay, so enough with me telling you all that. I'm going to explain that to you exactly. Oh, it's hot here. Stop the fan, that's why. Okay, so what did happen to me this weekend? This weekend, I was working, obviously, on Saturday. I was having a client, and I was like, it's time for changes. I need to do something different. And here I am having a little bit more time, or giving myself a little bit more time, saying, oh, I'm going to look what's going on around here, you know, in events and stuff like that, and look what's happening. And then I saw one of my clients and friend now, who was talking, she was at the retreat that Amma was doing in on the Sunshine Coast in Noosa. And I was like, wow, that's great. I wish I had a bit more time to actually do things like that. Not that I've known much about Amma. I've just heard about it, about her, about what she does and things like that. But I was not a big follower because, you know, as you all know, I've been so much, you know, working and helping you guys. So I haven't had time to really follow many people. And suddenly I'm looking and I'm like, this is just something I would need now. And I'm scrolling down and there are two things. There's the fact that she's doing the retreat. So she did a retreat for 3 or 4 days. And then suddenly there was this free event on the night where we could be coming, having that hug. It is said that when she hugs you, she is an unlighted person. So she has hugged 30 million people. So around the world. So just imagine that number. Okay, just let it sink in. That's what she does. And you feel the energy when you go over there. And here I am sitting down, going up with my kids saying, you know what? Doesn't matter. We'll come back very, very late because obviously we came back this morning. It was 5-6 a.m. by the time we came back. And it was absolutely beautiful, wonderful, you know, that energy. And so we are over there and then she starts talking. And for me, it was, you know, this aha moment when you like, is she really saying what I am hearing? Like, everything that I've been teaching you guys, that I've been saying, you know, about the cells, the way we need to be in control. Obviously, she's not an astrologist, but she talks in a light way, you know, the way I work also with the light, the fact that she believes obviously in God, but also in astrology, that God created all that, even in other systems, even in other planets, even the fact that she talks, you know, how we can love each other, how we need to go into our karma, how we can change things, how it is important to be successful, but at the end of the day, to be happy because you are doing your purpose and because you know your purpose, and that gives real happiness, you know, from within, and that can change the world with the word love, because that is massive, because this is how we can change the frequency with the light, compassion, love, and making each and everyone around. And as she is speaking that and she's talking about karma, I cannot at that time stop thinking, and we all do at one stage, you know, what about my karma? Have I done things right? Am I good enough? Am I helping enough people? Am I, you know, giving all my best, or what should I change, what should I modify? Because that's what we all do at one stage. We are all in the front of the mirror thinking, okay, you know, what can I make better? Because we all can make things better. And as she's saying that, you have to understand that before we were queuing up, and I met people not only from Nouméa, New Caledonia, working in spirituality. So I'm going to go this year to Nouméa, New Caledonia to do a workshop. So people that I can be working with and knowing some people of my past and everything. And that is, you know, wonderful. We're talking. Then I'm meeting a lady that comes from Germany, just where I was born. We start talking about my childhood and her. And, you know, it keeps on going like that. So many signs, so many things. And at one stage, when she has been asking all these questions, before we actually have that hug and that mantra, she also gave a mantra. It's very rare that she actually does. She doesn't do it all the time, but we were lucky enough to have obviously given our own personal mantra from Amma that we can obviously, you know, do every day, and, you know, to get closer to the light and to purify ourselves and to go higher and higher, spiritually speaking. But anyway, so she was saying everything that I've been saying for so many years to everyone. And I was like, this is just too awesome. I mean, this is it. This is it. She's speaking the same language as me. Obviously, she was not talking about the stars, but all the rest was exactly the same, you know. So for me, it was huge, you know. It's like, wow, I found someone that speaks my language, you know. And I was like, yeah, in awe, you know. I was like, yeah, suck it in. And then, obviously, as I was saying, she was talking about karma and the way we need to do things in life to make sure. And as we were going to go and have dinner with my son and my daughter, you will see the pictures. It was crowded with people, big tents, beautiful vegan food. I mean, it was just amazing. Everything was amazing. It was magical. And by the way, everything was. And I am arriving to be served. And as I'm getting served, there is a person that looks at me, that speaks to me in French. Obviously, there were many clients of mine, many friends, clients, people that I known at that place, but people that I could have expected as well, you know, so that was kind of fine. But suddenly, I've got that person that says, "Bonjour, Muriel," and starts talking to me. And I'm looking at her, and it took me a while to kind of click, because the first sentence was, what are you doing here? And I was like, she can't be. In fact, it was the lady, a lawyer, she's a lawyer, who sorted all my paperwork when my parents passed, my divorce and all that, and was looking after me. And you know, sometimes there are moments in life where you think, okay, I took that direction. Was it the right one, you know, to come to Australia? Was it the right one to do this, to do that? So just imagine my future, Amma, what she's talking about, you know, everything about her tribe and what she's thinking. Then the people about here, you know, about all my clients, you know, so I was talking with clients coming and saying me, oh, Muriel, you're here, can I see you? Obviously selling readings, you know, and talking about clients, a lot of people that were asking me for advice. So all these people that I was trying to help, I always do that on the spot. If you meet me, you're going to tell me, oh, Muriel, you know, is it a good time, not a good time? And I always help, you know, that's what I do. Even when I talk and meet people or friends, you know, we always end up talking a little bit about astrology. At the end of the day, it's my purpose, isn't it? I mean, that's what I'm here for. And yes, and here goes that lawyer who became my friend, by the way. We became very, very close. She knew everything about me and she helped me, and she was a really good friend with the director of the taxes department. She helped me with everything, and I mean, she made my life so beautiful. But just imagine here, being in an event, in an, you know, spiritual event in the middle of nowhere in Noosa, when she is a big, huge lawyer, you know, for accounts and all these kind of things, and, you know, succession and stuff. I mean, that's the last place you expect her to be. Obviously, we were so happy to see each other. We bonded and we explained everything that has been going on between her life, my life, and stuff like that. And she said, you know, if I was helping you and if I was, you know, I knew already who you were, and it's obvious that we are meeting here, you know, and vice versa the same, you know, because the way we bonded and helped each other and stuff like that. But things like that. So it was really almost like a crossroad between my past, my present, and obviously my future. And the fact that I came, that I said, okay, I'm letting it go. Yeah, it was not really reasonable with 2 kids that I would drive up there, you know, on a Sunday night, knowing that we would be coming so late, and that, you know, in that case, maybe I hadn't finished everything that I had to do in astrology and stuff like that. But I did let go. It was like, it's time for changes. I felt it because obviously it was in sync. And I really felt it. And since Pluto went in retrograde on the 24th, 25th, it was like, it's really time to let go and changes. So let it happen. It can happen in a different way. Obviously, I'm completely on another level. I did have my hug with Amma. It is said that when you hug her, it does change your karma. It cleans up everything and it puts you into the light. So obviously that for me was a very high level, because as soon as I stepped in, and because I feel I'm psychic and all that, I could be on her energy. I was laughing. I mean, you couldn't take off a smile. Then when she hugged me, it was so profound, you know, almost tears. There were actually tears coming up, and it was just so magical for me. And then after that, as I was saying, you know, there was this mantra. And this mantra, you had to actually wait again. So you had to wait that everyone had had their hugs and you had numbers and stuff like that. And then after that, you were on the side. If you wanted a mantra, then you had to wait again a couple of hours to be able to go through and have your mantra, which is something you don't want to be missing. You know, it's already hard to have been given a mantra, but on the top of that by an unlighted person, it's, you know, it's not every day that you get that. So it's very important to have your own and to be able to lift yourself up every day when you need it, that you do that, or that you are in the light. If you don't have a mantra, it doesn't matter. Put yourself into the white light, you know, visualize when you do meditation and things like that. But for me, it was the right time to have one, just to give me the energy, you know, to keep on looking after everyone. Anyway, here I am again. So I've had my cuddle, I've had all that, waited all those time, and I'm sitting next to her. So during that time, you are on her right for the mantra, but during that time she keeps on having people that she still has to hug, because she stays there all night. Sometimes people ask her, how do you keep on doing that? She does the same thing. Sometimes, you know, people ask me, how can you work so much and, you know, doing all the shots and stuff like that? Or her, obviously it's a way at a level, but she says the same thing, kind of, that she is into the light, that she gets her energy from love and the light, and that's how she can keep on doing all that, you know. And that's how I feel too on my little level. That's how I feel as well, you know, that if I'm going to be looking after a lot of people or doing charts after charts, which is many hours of work, calculating everything, I dig into that to be able to keep on going, you know. But the thing is that as I go on stage next to her, so there is a man, he's trying to put me against her shoulder, you know, and so she actually says the mantra into your ear, and then they gave it to you written down. But she just, and I am here, just hope it still works, and I am here next to her. I just hope it's not going to glitch, that everything is going to be fine. And I am here next to her, and she's waiting and waiting and waiting, and I am here, and at one stage I'm like, this is so strange. I mean, why isn't she taking me into her arms and telling me the mantra? And suddenly I'm like, okay, there must be a reason for that. So then I just look up, and I can see this huge crowd, and I can start really looking at what she is doing, and she's hugging those people that are crying, that are or laughing or crying, you know, or she's crying, you know, taking up all their pain and everything, and one after the other and after the other. And I am here on her side, seeing everything that she is doing, like, which is a little bit similar to the job that I do as well, you know. I try to take on what people have and change them and ameliorate their life. But I've always been a bit freaked out about huge crowds, you know. I've had many offers going on TV, the radio, and a lot of things, and I haven't said yes yet. I haven't been on all of them yet, you know, thinking I need to be ready. I'm going to have to be ready for all that, you know, because when that happens, when you start, you know, doing one-to-many or big crowds and stuff like that, it's a little bit different, you know, knowing that it is obviously the only way for me to go, that the one-on-one obviously can be very exhausting, and then you lose time. You need to go faster and quicker and help more people and put more people in sync, you know. Time is a factor as well, you know. We only have that much time on Earth, so you want to be quicker, help more people, and have more impact to make sure that everyone is in sync to live a better planet. And she's looking at me, and I'm like, oh my God, you, and we don't talk, we can't even talk, but I'm like, wow. And you know, she's looking at me, and then she takes me, and then she hugs me, and then she tells me my mantra. And I was like, okay, so obviously I will go back. I will see her when she comes back, and I'm going to do next time one of her retreats, because there's so much that I still want to learn, and how I can help people even more with my astrology, and how I can be of a better person, of a better impact, and how I can, you know, spread more love, and how I can help as many of you, you know, obviously with my tools, but I want to be able to do that and become better. So here's my future. This is how I can learn, you know, from someone that helps so many people and can show me how to help even more, and to do it, you know, the right way, and do things like that. So this is my story. This is what happens when you let go, and this is when the magic happens. Because come on, this is just not possible, almost, you know, in a logical way. How can you see someone from your past, you know, still in sync, you know, with all my past and, you know, ex-partners and everything that I did, you know, in Nouméa, New Caledonia, my future or my present, you know, between now ladies waiting for me in Nouméa, New Caledonia, you know, when I'm going to do my workshop, because I am going to Nouméa. I'm still deciding if it's going to be August or at the end of the year, but probably around August before the retreat. In Bali. And then, yeah, and then my future, you know, where I want to evolve, and how I want to look after a big crowd of people and help more people, as many as I can, you know, while I've got this time on Earth and stuff like that. So pure magic. So let's go. Accept the transformation. Accept that sometimes we do have to let go to be able to transform and to be better and to be on an even better path, you know. So I wanted to share that story, because I want you to understand that that is the same for everyone. We are part of it all. We are all the same, you know. We have different paths, different purpose, and for that, you know, if you need me, obviously I'm here. Obviously I've met the right people too, and clients that needed my help for certain things that were there, that met me at the right time. And it just was exponential, and you can imagine all the rest that went around. But even for my children, the way they are changed even today, I mean, the conversation we're having, something has shifted even into our relationship, because she also will ask her for a group hug, and we asked to be together as well. So obviously a lot of things happen for us as well. So, and they've got their mantras as well for their lifetime, you know, to help them be in peace and go higher, spiritually speaking. So do things like that. Do things that can nourish you, you know, with different kind of people, or hang out with people that are positive, that are going to lift you up, that are going to help you to do that. Come with us on the 1st of May. I promise you I will give you heaps of good stuff, even all that energy that I sucked in I will spread it as much as I can towards you guys if you need, to be lifted up as well. And I will give you the tools to go where you need. That's my only way, except the videos that I can really help you. So please don't hesitate, come and join us. And I shall see you on Sunday, because now I'm going to do the videos on Sunday. So I'm sure you are ready. And it's not a problem, because Mondays, it just doesn't happen. Too many things are there, and it's just too crazy between the clients, the kids, everything, and the emergencies that usually have happened during the weekend. So I've decided, let's make it easy, let's transform, and it will be on Sunday. So I will see you on the 5th, in the middle of the new moon, or in Taurus, with the next 7 years that are in there with Uranus and the planet of changes that are affecting us for the moment. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful time. And yes, see you soon, and see you on Wednesday if you can come over. Ciao everyone, bye.